Today we have the full tutorial for the stained glass Lego puzzle box. All right, let's get started. Okay, for the base layer, we have a 6x8 plate and a 1x8 plate, and I'm going to push those together. That will be the base. And then I have these 2x8 plates. These are just going to sit on both ends. And then for this center portion, that's 3x8, I'm just going to arrange these tiles and plates. This is a 1x3 plate, a 2x2 plate, a 1x2 tile, a 1x3 plate, a 1x2 plate, a 2x3 tile, a 1x1 tile, a 1x2 plate, and a 1x1 tile. All right, building up the next layer, I'm going to start with this 2x4 plate, a 1x4 plate, a 1x2 tile, and a 1x2 plate. This 1x3 plate sits there. A 1x4 plate here, a 1x1 plate there, a 1x2 tile. I have a 1x4 brick, this one goes there, and a 1x2 brick, like that. This 2x3 plate is actually going to sit like this, and a 1x4 plate. And then on these studs here, I have a 1x2 tile, a 1x1 tile. This one is just going to sit freely for now, and another 1x2 tile sitting on that stud. Okay, continuing on, I have a 1x4 brick. That one goes there. A 1x6 plate, right there. And then in this section here, you want to fill it with tiles, and the directional movement is this way. So choosing tiles that support that directional movement is a good idea. I believe in the instructions, instead of these two 1x4s, I have a 2x4, but any configuration of tiles works. Instead of those, you might want a 2x2. It's up to you. But here I have a 1x2 tile. I'm going to count that as a 2x4 tile and another 1x2 tile. I'm going to start with this 1x1 plate there, and a 1x2 tile, 2x2 corner plate here, this 1x6 tile there, another 2x2 corner plate, and then this is a transparent brick without the undertube. If you want to Frankenbrick a regular 1x2, that will also work. This is a 1x2 Technic brick with a center hole. This one sits on those two studs down there. And then this 1x1 round tile is going to sit there. Now we have a 1x4 plate and a 1x2 plate. This 1x2 plate is going to sit right there. A 1x1 plate, a 2x2 corner plate, and a 1x3 plate. Next, we're going to start with this 1x2 Technic brick with the axle hole. And I'm just going to put a 1x4 axle through it with the stopper on the end. So, and this we want to arrange so it also goes through that other Technic hole. It may be tricky. In fact, I think I'm just going to remove that brick. And I'm going to put my axle through both of them and then replace it in. And let's actually put it flush with that circle. Actually, we're gonna start with it like this, with this 1x2 extended, this sliding brick fully flush with the side of the box. And then this 1x2 brick just sits alongside like that. And this 1x3 plate sits on top of either your Frankenbricked brick or your transparent brick. Now we have a 2x2 corner plate, and it's just going to connect those two bricks we had placed in the previous step. And a 1x1 plate. This 1x1 brick sits right here, right there. A 1x2 plate, a 1x3 plate right here, and another 1x3 plate. Next, I'm going to start with this 1x1 plate and put it right down there in that cavity. This 1x3 plate sits here, and a 1x1 plate here. This 1x1 plate goes there, and this 1x3 plate goes across like that. This 1x3 plate sits here. And we have two of these 1x1 round tiles. These are going to sit here and there. A 1x1 plate goes here, and a 1x1 tile here. This 1x3 sits on top of that lime one. Now we have these two 1x1 plates. Those go here. And a 1x2 tile. I know what you're thinking with that transparent one, but it's not necessarily the case. And this 1x2 tile sits here. For the next row, I'm going to start with this 1x6 plate. That one sits on the end. And this 1x2 tile sits right on this stud. And I'm going to push it into the box. This 1x4 plate goes here, and a 1x2 plate, a 1x4 brick, and a 1x1 brick. And this 1x3 plate sits right on top of those two 1x1 plates. Now we have a 2x4 plate, a 1x6 plate, this one goes here, a 1x4 plate, and another 1x6. This 1x2 plate sits here, and a 1x1 tile right here. Now we have a 2x2 plate, a 1x2 tile, and another 2x2 plate, a 1x1 plate, a 1x1 tile, and a 1x1 plate. This is a 2x2 plate. And let's see, we have a 1x1 plate there and a 1x1 round tile there. A 2x2 plate. Sorry, a 1x2 plate. Another 1x2 plate. A 1x1 tile. A 1x2 plate. A 1x1 tile and a 1x4 plate. Now we're going to build a slider. It's going to start with this 2x3 plate and a 1x2 plate. We'll push those together, and another 1x2 plate on the end. I'm going to connect all of them with a 1x6 plate. This 1x3 plate goes there, and then a 1x1 on the end. And I think it's easiest if we place this now inside this cavity right over that tile, like that. Okay, we're gonna build everything up on this 2x6 plate. I have a 1x4 plate, a 1x1 plate, a 1x2 tile, and a 1x1 tile there. This 2x2 brick sits on the end. Next I have a 2x2 corner tile and a 1x2 tile. This 1x2 plate goes there, And then this 1x2 tile sits on top of that plate that we just placed, and a 2x2 tile sits there. And all of this is going to sit directly on top like that. Okay, building up the layers a little more, I have this 2x2 corner plate that goes here, and a 1x2 plate. This 1x3 tile sits here, and I have a 1x2 plate, another 1x2 plate. I'm going to skip a spot where that tile is, and this 1x2 plate sits there. This 1x2 tile is going to sit on this stud here, and then I'm going to push it in. And a 1x3 plate goes there. We have a 1x1 plate here and a 2x2 plate. This 1x2 plate sits there, and a 1x3 on the end. Next, I'm going to start with this 1x8 plate. That one goes like that. A 1x6 plate, like that, and in this little corner spot, a 1x1 plate. This 1x2 tile sits there, and this one, it's very important that it is a 2x2 corner plate. 2x2 corner plates don't always need to be used, but in this case it does, because it's going to sit over that opening. And this 1x1 tile sits there. This 1x4 plate goes here. A 1x1 plate there. A 1x1 tile. And this 1x2 plate is going to sit like that, so extending over that blue tile. And then we have two plates that are just going to rest freely for now. One sitting over top of that blue tile and the white tile, like that. And this one is going to sit over top of that white tile, right in there like that. Next, we are going to build up the layers. We have a 1x3 plate here. We have our money tile here with the one facing out. A 1x2 tile there. And a 1x2 plate here. Next, I'm going to push that back. I'm going to connect all of those with this 2x2 plate. And this 1x3 plate goes here. A 1x1 tile sits there. And this 1x1 brick goes here. Another 1x1 brick there. And to connect this plate, I have this 1x3 brick. And then this 2x2 corner tile sits on those two studs, and it overhangs one this way. So it's going to sit right like that. And this 1x1 plate on the end there. For this portion of this box, this 3x3 portion, in the instructions I have that as a 3x3 plate, but I don't seem to have a 3x3 in white, so I'm going to use this 2x3 and a 1x3 instead. Those go in the corner there. And then on this stud here, this is where we have our Frankenbricked piece. It's a 1x2 plate, and I've removed the under tube. And essentially how you want to do this is ideally find a plate that doesn't have these little micro ridges on them. It makes it a lot easier. And you want to find this center tube here. I like to squeeze it and then kind of rock until it comes off, and it's just a little piece like that. And then I like to, so it has a little bit of residual plastic on there, and I just like to grab that, squeeze it together, and kind of pull. And that smooths it out. And then you can kind of go back and forth over it so that it will hopefully slide cleanly on this stud. Let's see. And it's absolutely worth your time to find one without those micro ridges. Some of the 1x2 plates have them and others don't. So look through your bricks and find one that doesn't have it. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to put that right on that stud there. Next I have a 2x3 plate, a 1x1 tile, a 1x3 plate next to it, and on this one we have this 1x2 plate there. That 1x8 plate sits across the entire box, and then this 1x2 plate is going to go right here. A 1x4 plate sits here, and a 2x3 plate here. Right now it's only on that one stud, but we'll secure it in a little bit more. I'm going to place this 1x4 plate here, a 1x2 plate, and a 2x2 plate. This 2x3 plate goes here. This 2x3 plate sits on top of that last one. And then I have a 1x2 tile, a 1x1 plate, and a 1x1 tile. This 1x4 plate is going to sit across those. And this 1x2 plate, sorry, this 1x2 tile is going to sit right on that stud. And we have a 2x2 plate there, and this 2x2 brick is going to sit right there. Next, we are going to build a slider. It's going to start with these 1x2 plates, and I'm just going to stack them. This 1x1 plate sits here, and then we have this 2x2 corner plate, and it's going to hang off the edge like this. And then on the underside of that, I'm going to put another 1x2 plate. Like that. This 1x3 sits on top, and it's a 1x3 brick. And then this 1x2 tile sits like this. And we are going to place this into the box. Here's our extended lime tile right here. Like that. Okay, and then to top it off, we want a 2x3 plate, like that, and a 1x3 plate, right there. Okay, next we are going to build another slider. It's going to start with these two 2x2 corner plates, and I'm going to stack those together. And then I'm going to put a 2x2 plate over top. And in this section here, I'm going to take this 1x4 modified plate with the two studs and put this, one of the studs right like that. So that extends out now. And this 1x1 plate sits on top like that. Next, I'm going to put this 2x2 corner plate here. And this other modified 1x4 plate sits on top like that. And then I have this 2x2 tile there, this 1x2 tile here. And then I have a 1x4 tile, and I'm going to put this 1x1 plate underneath, and I'm going to slide that through like this. And where this is going to sit in the box is here. We want to find those two studs. This goes down like that, and this part of the tile hooks on to those two studs. And this might be a good spot to use glue because this tile has a tendency to separate from those studs, but if you don't want to use glue, you don't have to. Okay, I am going to start with this 1x8 plate that goes here. this 1x6 plate there, a 2x2 plate here. This 1x2 plate goes right here, a 1x4 plate, and a 1x1 plate. We're almost there. Okay, now we just have the tiles on top to decorate it. I'm going to start with this 1x8 tile, and that one's going to extend the length of the box and give it stability. Next, this 1x1 lime tile goes here. A 1x2 tile. This light aqua one goes there. We have a jumper here. This 2x2 lime tile extends partially over that opening. And then a 1x1 magenta. This is another jumper that's in that dark bluish gray. A 1x4 in white, and a 1x2 in the light bluish gray. A 1x4 tile in the medium azure. This is a dark pink and a lime. This is a 2x2 tile in the dark bluish gray and a 1x2 there. Another lime and a light aqua. This is the dark bluish gray again, dark pink, a white, and I think that one's called bright pink. And then our tool is a 1x6 white tile. It's going to sit right on top of the jumpers. So hopefully you enjoyed the build for stained glass. I hope you enjoy the solve. And this box will be listed on our Etsy page in the next couple of days if you're interested in buying it. Cheat 3, out.